everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you didn't know, April is Autism Awareness Month. National Autism Day was a few days ago. Well, I think it was about a week and a half ago. But anyway, April is Autism Awareness Month, so I wanted to make a video updating you all about my life, Carmen's life with autism, and just how autism helped me find my voice as a parent and as a person as well. It helped me, of course, be more sympathetic and empathetic to others, and just to be really and truly grateful for my children, for their health, and just for life in general, because you really don't know other people's struggles. You don't know what other people have going on in their lives, because not all of us, you know, share our lives via YouTube or social media. So it definitely is a humbling experience being a parent of a child who has a, I don't really like the word disorder, but you know, a learning disorder. But anyway, yeah. So just to start off, Carmen is 5. She was diagnosed with mild autism at 3.5, and to me that was very, very late considering, but on the opposite end, it was early considering that we are a military family and we do move a lot. So I mean, I'm glad that they caught it at 3, but I would have preferred to have known at, you know, around 18 months when the same signs and symptoms were there. There just wasn't a diagnosis for it at 18 months. So basically at 3, Carmen went in for her 3-year-old checkup, and her doctor at the time was just like, you know, I really feel Carmen is autistic, but I can't diagnose her, but you know, she shouldn't be speaking gibberish. She should be able to communicate a little better, and I think she has what is called echolalia, because at the time Carmen would repeat just about any and everything you said to her. If you said, "What's your name?" she would respond with, "What's your name?" and then she would say, "My name, Carmen." If I have a video clip, if I can find it, which I'm sure I can, but if I can find a clip of it, I will insert the clip of her basically learning to say her name. And that actually, whoa, Carmen, what's your name?
What's your name? My name is Karmen.
Good job, you did it.
No,
you're not getting my. It took me about 6 to 8 months just to teach her to say the "my name Carmen" part, and that was a struggle. And I knew as her mom, like, it shouldn't be this hard to teach her her name, especially dropping the "what is your name" part. And I couldn't figure out, you know, why she repeated that. But anyway, her doctor at the time said, you know, she thought it was echolalia, but she wanted to confirm. So she sent her to a neurologist. The neurologist confirmed that it was severe echolalia and that she felt she was mildly autistic. But at the time, we didn't know that her diagnosis was done improperly. Basically, now we know that she should have gone to multiple doctors. She should have been tested multiple times by different people. Basically, like a psychiatrist. She should have saw a speech pathologist, a neurologist as well. She should have seen, of course, a pediatrician. She should have seen a therapist, but for motor skills. I can't think of the name, but there's a name for people who do therapy. But anyway, she should have been tested multiple times. So we got Carmen's diagnosis. We took it back to her pediatrician. Her pediatrician basically told me, hey, there are 4 main organizations out here in Southern California that are really, really great for children who have special needs. 2 of them specialized and had like a lot of services for children with autism. So basically she just said, you know, to reach out to them, call, email, send everything over that they need, and go from there. So I sent all the paperwork in, and I ended up getting a few calls back, and this is where I feel like I started to come out of my shell as a parent. Of course, y'all don't know me personally. Well, a lot of you don't know me personally, but I'm a pretty quiet person. I don't really like talking like that. I mean, it probably seems like I do because I make videos, but I'm not a big talker in person. I pretty much keep to myself. So having a child with autism really made me have to learn to kind of stand my ground, speak up and not be, you know, walked all over. So I get a call, and you know, a lady tells me like, hey, we have an appointment available tomorrow, you can bring Karmen down. And this was about 2 hours from where I lived, to take her down there the next day, have an appointment. The doctor will see her, he'll review her file, etc., etc., and then she may or may not, you know, start receiving services. So I explained to them like, hey, we live in Moreno Valley, that's not really close to us. Do you have anything, you know, later on in the week or the following month? Because that kind of is last minute for me. And, you know, she kind of smartly said, well, if you want the appointment, you'll take the appointment that we have available. And before I knew it, I was just like, ma'am, you can't call me, you know, not even a full 24 hours in advance and tell me, hey, we have an appointment tomorrow, bring your child if you want them to be seen by this specialist. That may work for a lot of other people, but that didn't work for me, because I wanted to give my husband enough time to tell, you know, his co-workers he needed to leave. I wanted to give myself enough time to get up, get dressed, get them there on time. And by it being 2 hours away, really it would be almost 2.5 to 3, because, you know, California traffic was just so unpredictable. I wasn't going to do that to myself. And I already knew that, in my opinion, some of the appointments were a waste of time, because they would kind of repeat each other and not really tell me anything that I didn't already know, not offer a solution that I didn't already know, and kind of not really get to know Karmen for Karmen, but, you know, look at Karmen on the spectrum. And I was just like, no, ma'am, I'm not taking that appointment, because that doesn't work for me. Do you have anything later in the week or, you know, later in the month, as I stated? And she was just like, well, I will put you on our appointment list for, you know, the next time we have openings, but we don't have any more openings. And so that incident kind of taught me to be vocal about Karmen and Karmen's needs and my needs as a parent, and not to be afraid to speak up, in a sense. So moving forward, we ended up moving to Georgia, and she has an IEP, which is an individual education plan that all children with special needs have. So going through the motions of finding out my child is mildly autistic, to finding out that there is an IEP, to finding out that there are special programs and services for children like her, was just kind of all like a big head spin, like the cartoon style. Like my head was just spinning, finding all of this out, you know, and trying to get everything in order to make sure that she got what she needed from, you know, whatever program they had available for her. I think her autism made me find my voice and made me kind of hone in on my parenting style. And while I think personally I never wanted to be a tough parent, but I see the importance of it, because children will definitely do what you allow. If you allow them to not do homework, they won't do homework. If you allow them to not read, they won't read. If you allow them to succumb to whatever it is that they struggle with, they will continue to struggle with it. They're not going to want to do anything that you don't force them to do. And I don't mean force in a bad way. I mean force as in like encourage and push and push. If I didn't push Karmen to go to school and like school, I don't think she would like it still. I think she probably would hate it. If I didn't encourage Karmen to try new things, she wouldn't try new things. One of her goals that I told her teacher I wanted was for her to continue to eat new foods, and to kind of like keep forcing them on her plate. Because at her school, they of course provide breakfast and lunch, and they have family style breakfast and lunch where they fix their own plate and they sit down and eat together. So it was imperative to me that I tell them like, hey, don't let Karmen not eat. Like, she's gonna say she doesn't want it, but at least offer it to her. And all of her teachers were like, okay, got it, we're definitely gonna make her put it on her plate and try it. And then they've helped tremendously with that, as far as getting her to try new food, even if it's just one bite. Like, she tries it. And I know autism is very different for everybody. It's not the same at all. But I think that autism has just taught me how to speak up and how to be the voice that she needs, because she doesn't really have a voice right now. She doesn't really have a say so. Autism has taught me that it's okay to be a young parent and to want things for your child that may not come easily. Before her diagnosis, I just assumed like, oh, she's just gonna go to whatever school that's in her district. She's going to do whatever is available to her. I didn't really put any thought into, I'm going to put her into this school, this program. I'm going to make sure she gets this and this and this. Like, I was just like going with the motions of just life. You know, you just go to school, you go to activities, you go home. But now I see, like, it's so important to be involved in your children's life and picking their schools and picking their teachers. And it's okay to say that you don't like someone for your child. They definitely encouraged me to speak up if I didn't like anything. Her school now, that is. If I didn't like anything that was going on, to speak up. And I do. I ask questions when she gets a progress report. You know, she's done like great leaps and bounds with her progress reports. She's gone from like 30% in some areas to 70 to 80%, which is a big jump to just be a few months into the school year. She has gone to 100% in 2 categories that she was at 60% in. So it's definitely great to see her progressing and doing what she should be doing, and to see that it's not given to her. She has to actually earn it. She has to actually put the work in to get the better results. And while she doesn't really get grades right now, she won't get grades to, I think, 1st grade. Honestly, I wasn't that optimistic in August when school started. I was like, it'll be a goal, it'll be a milestone if she just writes her name by the end of the year. And by about mid-September, about 3.5, 4 weeks into the school year, she was writing her name. And now it's perfectly legible. It's not perfect, of course, because she's 5, but it's legible now, and it's improved every month. It's improved. And another goal that I didn't think that she would grasp, but she grasped very quickly, was her echolalia. She doesn't, I would say she speaks gibberish about 20% of the time now, whereas earlier in the year she was speaking like 90% gibberish. You want to sit down?
Yes.
Okay, come sit down. Come sit right here. Say hi.
Hi. Okay.
Okay. So earlier in the year, she was talking maybe about 90% gibberish, and by gibberish I mean just like a 14-month-old talks. You know, just you can't understand them. They're just talking just to be talking, and they think they're talking, but they're not really talking. So when the year started, she was still speaking in about 90% gibberish. Like, you really couldn't understand her that well. She would speak in maybe like 2 to 3 word sentences. And now in April, she's speaking incomplete sentences. I hear gibberish about, like I said, 20% of the time. It's not a lot, but now I just tell her to speak clearly, use your words, and it kind of has resonated with her that whatever she's doing it wrong. So she will correct herself and try to speak clearer, or she'll just repeat something, and it'll help me understand what she's trying to say that she can't say. You want to tell them something?
Yes.
What do you want to tell them?
Shining.
Shining? Why you want to sing Shining?
Because shining, I'm talking about the world you met. Just a sec. Don't you know there's a dum and in the winter beginning.
Can you tell them Shiny is from Moana?
Shining for Moana.
From Moana.
From Moana.
Who sings Shiny?
Crab.
The crab? Tomator?
Tomato.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Can you tell them how old you are?
Carmen.
No.
5.
Thank you. Why you don't listen to mommy?
You don't
No, you need to listen to mommy.
I think you think about it.
You don't need to think about it. You need to do it. What do you want to tell them? Tell them. Say, I am strong.
I am strong.
Can you say Autism Speaks?
Autism Speaks.
No, say Autism Speaks.
I'm gonna speak.
You're not even speaking clearly, Carmen. Say Autism.
Bet.
No, listen. Say Autism
Autism
Speaks.
Speaks.
Thank you. You want to tell them you love school? So that was like a sample of like what she does. She will try to speak gibberish if you allow her to speak gibberish. But typically if I correct her, she'll correct herself. The struggle has been real, trying to get this video filmed. They're cutting the grass across the street. my kids are being my kids as normal, and I'm trying to film. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of all over the place because I had to jump back and forth, but I just, of course, encourage anyone with a child with special needs to just speak up, be an advocate, be a voice, be a fighter for your child, because it is definitely not easy. It is easy to just, you know, be passive and just fall by the wayside and not really get involved. But I feel like that would hurt the child more than anything, because they need someone to speak up for them and to say, you know, what they need, where they should be, where they're going to go, how they're going to behave, the progress that you want to see in them. All that's very important. My advice to anyone with a child that shows signs of a special need, to just speak up, get them tested, and don't stop. You know, I wish I would have been more aggressive with Karmen's pediatricians when she was 18 months, because I maybe would have known a little sooner, and I maybe would have been able to kind of tailor my life to help her, and to be, you know, to put her in activities or to put her in a program that would have helped. But I didn't know, and I just kind of kept going by the whole kids talk when they talk, kids do what they want to do when they want to do it, and that just wasn't right. And so in hindsight, I definitely think, you know, to follow your intuition, whether you're a mother or a father. If you feel your child isn't speaking well, isn't communicating well, whether it be verbal or nonverbal communication, if they struggle with, you know, eye contact, if they struggle with social skills, emotional, if they struggle emotionally, if they struggle to transition from one activity to the next, you know, if you have a hard time going to bed or going to sleep, there are just so many signs that I didn't know about that all fall onto the autism spectrum that I now know. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Be sure to look out for a video later this week on Karmen's hair. And with all that being said, I will catch you all in the next video. Bye!